first things first, for our cheesecake, make the crust. Just some graham crackers, it doesn't matter what brand. Use about 9 of the whole crackers and just break them up into little pieces to go in the food processor, just so it's easier to blend up. And I do it little by little. I didn't break all 9 of them and pack them into the food processor because it wouldn't process. So just little by little, maybe like 3 graham crackers at a time, and then I just got 9, and that's my big mountain of it. So I'm gonna put melted butter in there, and I use vegan, soy-free butter, melt inside there, and just to get it into a thicker consistency. 3 tablespoons of butter was not enough because it looks like that, but I added like 3 more tablespoons, and that's what I'm looking for right there. So once I got that, I just put it in a pan. I wish I had a circular pan, but I have these rectangular loaf pans. I've used it before to make a cheesecake video. A strawberry one, I will link that. But you just paste the crust in there and shape it up. I don't like a cheesecake without crust, so I had to make it thick in there. Next up is the filling. That is 1 cup of soaked cashews, half a cup of agave, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, 2/3 cup of coconut milk, and 1/3 cup of coconut oil. And you notice it's a little runny because I was actually following my old recipe of 1.5 cashews. So if it was 1.5, it would be a little thicker, but because I made the recipe for 1.5 cashews instead of 1, it's a little bit more runny, but that's fine. It works still, as long as it tastes proper. I just put it, it's a little bit more liquidy, yeah, but I just put it in the freezer and left some room for the pumpkin layer. That went into the freezer for 3 hours, and as you see, I left a space there at the top. So 3 hours later, it's time to make the pumpkin layer. And I've never used canned pumpkin before, but I found a recipe that was talking about a pumpkin layer, and it says to use this. I didn't know what to expect when I opened the can because I don't know about it, but there it is, kind of thick. I use 1/4 cup of agave, a pinch of salt, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, add 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and I blended it in the food processor at first. Then I transferred it over to my blender because it wasn't budging, as you can see. Then I added coconut milk. It still wasn't budging. So I decided to just pour it out of the blender into a bowl and mix it by hand because it was so thick. But this is my first time making pumpkin stuff, so I don't really know how it's supposed to go. But I got the cake from out the freezer, and it is solid. Just adding the pumpkin layer at this point. It was too thick to pour, but I just, swirled it on top. And that went back in the freezer. 3 hours later, everything has hardened and is ready to cut. I let it sit for a while. You can see right there, I tested it out. I let it sit for a while and then cut it. And look how smooth it looks. Everything is in a nice little layer. Yay! Just let it sit out for like 10 minutes or so because of course it's coming from the freezer, and then take a nice bite of it. And it was really good. I was very happy with the pumpkin layer. It was worth all the stirring.